What's going on, you guys? Ryan from WadFigs here. Welcome back to another prediction video. This time it is a Raw and SmackDown pay-per-view. We've got Survivor Series. It looks like going forward, as long as the brand split has been happening, this is the second time in a row it's, I guess, promoted as Raw versus SmackDown, and of course this card full of just Raw and SmackDown matchups with the exception of a few. But I'm very much looking forward to this show, as many people are. Tons of matches like AJ vs Brock, the traditional Survivor Series match, the Shield vs New Day have a lot of people excited. This weekend as a whole is great. Well, at the time of I'm posting this, War Games would have already happened for NXT, but that show should be fantastic as well. So we're going to go ahead and jump in. We've got about 6 to 7 matches to do predictions for, and we're going to go ahead and start, of course, with the kickoff show. This isn't really a Raw vs SmackDown match. You just got two guys from 205 Live facing each other. Of course, Enzo Amore will be defending his Cruiserweight Championship against Kalisto. I'm going to predict that Enzo retains his Cruiserweight Championship. Last time I did my predictions video, we talked a lot about the Cruiserweight division and how Neville leaving, which was a rumor at the time, was going to be, I think, a really big deal for them. But it just came out a couple days ago that Neville actually didn't leave, and he could be coming back very shortly, maybe even after this feud, which, thank God for the Cruiserweight division. I already miss Neville. I know tons of people do. If he would have left, he would have been such a big star, but he's staying with WWE upon the rumors that he was leaving. So, again, going back to this match, I think Enzo Amore is going to retain his Cruiserweight Championship, and maybe babyface Neville coming back to win back the Cruiserweight Championship is a high possibility. Then we have the Raw Tag Team Champions, Sheamus and Cesaro, The Bar, taking on the SmackDown Live Tag Team Champions, The Usos. Before this match happened, of course, the Shield, Ambrose and Rollins were going into Survivor Series as the Raw Tag Team Champions, but they recently dropped it to The Bar. A lot of people were looking forward to that match, I myself as well. It's unfortunate that we're just going to be getting this match, which should be okay, but obviously wouldn't have been as good as the Shield versus the Usos. And for this one, I'm going to go with the Usos taking the victory over the Raw Tag Team Champs. I'm not going to sleep on this match, and I don't suggest other people do as well, because these are two teams capable of having fantastic matches, and against each other, I think they'll do just that, because I know a lot of people really aren't looking forward to this as much as the previous matchup, but still, I think the Usos are going to pick up the W. Next, we have representing SmackDown Live, of course, the United States Champion Baron Corbin, going on against representing Raw, the Intercontinental Champion, The Miz. I really did enjoy the back and forth that Miz and Corbin both had over social media. I thought it was really good, the videos that they were both posting, sort of to make it seem more personal, because as a match, you know, this probably is going to be one of the weaker cards on the show. I mean, they both had good matches, obviously. Just together, I'm not really sure if it mixes. I'm sure it'll be okay, but definitely compared to the other matches, will be one of the weaker ones. And I predict that The Miz is going to beat Baron Corbin, probably not clean, probably from some sort of interference from Bo Dallas or Curtis Axel or something like that. Again, I don't think many people have high expectations for this match, but definitely The Miz is going to win. Then we have the women's traditional Survivor Series match, where representing SmackDown, you've got Becky, Natalya, Naomi, Carmella, and Tamina taking on Team Raw, Bayley, Sasha, Nia Jax, Asuka, and of course, Alicia Fox. And automatically, I'm giving it to Team Raw for the sole purpose of Asuka. There's no way she's getting pinned. I mean, maybe unless like there's a 4-on-1 and they all attack her and get her out, which I don't really see happening. Although I do really think Asuka is going to outlast every single woman. In fact, I think it would be really cool. I don't think it's going to happen if she eliminated like maybe 2 or 3 members, maybe even 4. Not the whole team, obviously, but I mean like Tamina, Carmella, and Naomi. Like maybe they could get eliminated by Asuka. Maybe even Becky Lynch. I don't know if they want to eliminate Carmella like that, since she's the Miss Money in the Bank, of course. I don't know if that'll happen necessarily, although I do think they're definitely winning only because of Asuka. On Raw, there was a lot of debating going on and a lot of speculating that a certain somebody could return on one of these teams. That, of course, being Paige. Of course, she's been training at the Performance Center as of late, and there are rumors coming out that she could be returning anytime soon now. Of course, she was backstage on Raw posting pictures and whatnot, so I think we're going to end up seeing her return. Maybe not tonight, but definitely at some point soon. I think Paige is coming back. and that'll be very interesting to say the least. And the other women's match on this show has the Raw Women's Champion Alexa Bliss going up against the recently won SmackDown Live Women's Champion Charlotte. Of course, this past week on SmackDown, Charlotte beat Natalya for the Women's Championship, and I actually don't have it in figure form. I don't even think that one's come out yet. But after beating Natalya, she had a great moment with Ric Flair on stage. It was great to see him back. Of course, they were in Charlotte's hometown. And I actually posted right away that I was kind of looking forward to this because this isn't a matchup I believe that we haven't seen. I mean, maybe it happened in NXT, but it definitely hasn't happened on the main roster, at least in a one-on-one scale. So I think this has potential to be really good. I'm going to say Charlotte gets the victory, but there's a really funny theory going around there that Carmella could potentially cash in and win both titles, which I think is funny, and I obviously don't think it's going to happen. I don't even know if that's allowed in the clause. I think she's only allowed to cash in on Charlotte. I don't think she'll be cashing in at this show. Again, though, this match should be good. I do have some expectations for it, considering they're both technically by default the leaders of their brands. And again, Charlotte will be beating Alexa, at least so I think. Now we get into the 3 matches that I believe have the most potential to be the best on this show and maybe of the weekend going up against NXT. We've got representing SmackDown, Big E, Kofi, and Xavier. Of course, the New Day taking on Ambrose, Rollins, and Reigns representing Raw, The Shield. I believe this is the second time that all 3 original members of The Shield are going to be teaming up. Of course, last week on Raw, you had Roman's return, but this match will be very, very good. I say it a lot, but all of these guys, especially as units, have so much potential to have awesome matches. And this is sort of a match people have been talking about, I guess, for a little while. If you remember back, we had that teaser segment where the Shield kind of got back together. And then there was AJ and Anderson and Gallows, and then the New Day all staring off on, like, who's the better faction. So since then, I guess that was sort of a little teaser. Obviously, they didn't know this would be happening years later. But this match is going to be great, and I'm going to go with the Shield. I don't imagine a scenario where they're going to be losing after they just recently got back together, and I would like to see a triple powerbomb specifically on Big E through a table. I think that would be absolutely amazing, and even a Big E dive where he takes Ambrose and Rollins out on the apron or something should be crazy. But there are still some other matches on this show that could even be better than this. This match right here, the traditional Survivor Series tag match, Team SmackDown, consisting of Bobby Roode, who isn't here because I don't have a figure of him, but I will be getting that NXT figure soon, hopefully. Randy Orton, Shinsuke Nakamura, the returning John Cena, and I guess the captain, Shane McMahon, taking on Team Raw, which is Kurt Angle, Finn Balor, the recently returning as well Triple H, which was awesome, and we'll get into that soon. Braun Strowman and Samoa Joe, who I couldn't fit into the frame, so sorry, Joe. This is the second match that I think could be absolutely great. I think you have the combination of so many different matchups in this match, like John Cena and Angle going at it again, Cena and Finn Balor, which is going to be great. I hope they have a one-on-one time at least. Cena and Triple H, we haven't seen in a while. Nakamura, Kurt Angle, which I think is one of the more exciting ones. Nakamura, Balor, again, Nakamura, Triple H. Again, there are so many different options. Bobby Roode and Triple H, which a lot of people, you see those memes where they're like faces or mix, those are hilarious. But my official prediction is going to be that Team Raw wins. I just see the combination of a lot of guys like Triple H and Angle and Balor, and I don't think they're all gonna lose. They're so stacked that I really don't see it happening, but maybe they did it that way on purpose to make the odds so stacked against SmackDown. But even though I do think Team Raw is gonna win, let's get into some of these scenarios that people are throwing out there of people who could potentially interfere within this match. Of course, Jason Jordan was going to be on Team Raw until this past week. They decided to make a roster change to amp things up, where Triple H pedigreed Jason Jordan to the delight of the fans, and Triple H was the new member of Team Raw. I think it's very possible that Jason Jordan, to get retribution on his own dad, Kurt Angle, and maybe even Triple H, the guy who laid him out on Raw, could interfere, maybe getting one of them eliminated or costing Team Raw the match itself, although I do think they are going to win, so I think that one is unlikely. Jason Jordan has not been getting the reactions I think people expected. He's getting booed a lot, very similar sort of to Roman Reigns, not on the same level, but I think there is a good chance that maybe he decides to get back at his dad. And the other name, or names I should say, is Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, who of course are mysteriously left off Survivor Series. Not even a pre-show match. I mean, maybe on the night of the show they'll announce some sort of tag team match or something, although I don't think that's going to happen. Of course, they've been feuding with Shane since the Owens and Shane feud, and you even have a Daniel Bryan sort of thing going on, which is another rumor, but I think that's pretty unlikely, so I'm not going to get into that. But I think there is, just like Jason Jordan, a probable chance that Zayn and Owens cost SmackDown Live the match. And I think if Raw is winning like I think they are, I think this is what's going to happen. Zayn and Owens, maybe it comes down to Shane or something, and they interfere, costing them the match, costing SmackDown. And of course, in return, Raw gets the victory. But we'll see. There are so many rumors about this match. Like I said, there's one about Daniel Bryan. I saw Undertaker. I don't know. A lot of them are mostly BS. And then what I believe, at least, will be the main event representing SmackDown. The recently crowned WWE Champion AJ Styles taking on, representing Raw, the Universal Champion. I mean, barely representing Raw because he hasn't even wrestled on Raw in like 18 years. Of course, a few weeks back, it was announced that Brock would be taking on the then WWE Champion Jinder Mahal, but boy, how things have changed. A complete 180. AJ Styles beats Jinder Mahal on SmackDown and gets thrusted into this dream match, as a lot of people are calling it. And like I said, this could be the best match of the weekend or on this show. But the question is, will it be as good as we all expect it to be? Because on paper, you like to think of Lesnar as the guy who's had those phenomenal matches with guys like Punk in recent years and Rollins, and then that Rollins-Cena match, and even the Fatal 4-Way match that he had at SummerSlam. But then we have to think, you know, what version of Lesnar are we going to be getting? And this is a point a lot of people have made. Are we going to be getting the Brock Lesnar that can have that amazing match and goes all out with a smaller guy like AJ? Or are we just going to get Suplex City Brock Lesnar, who is just going to suplex him 15 times, AJ gets a little bit of offense in, Lesnar kicks out of his finishers, and then just beats AJ? I think that's very much likely, and I think Brock Lesnar is going to be winning. There is a big chance I think Jinder could interfere to cost AJ the match, or maybe even Jinder attacks them both or something like that, but I don't think AJ is going to be beating Brock. I hope he does get some offense in. It doesn't look too much of a chump, of course, being the WWE Champion, but I'm still going to be excited for this match. I'd like to be positive about it. But that's going to do it for Survivor Series. Again, overall, a lot of people talking about this show, thinking it could be really good. Usually when that happens, it ends up being bad, but I think this is going to be the exception. Should be a very good show. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure you leave a like. Subscribe if you haven't already. And as always, stay tuned to the next one.